Let me begin by saying that history is not just about the past, it's about the future. And I want to tell you something briefly about why I am personally committed to bringing the dreaming back to the extent that I've really dedicated my life to it. It's because of my perceived connection across time and space with two women. One who lived 7 generations before me and is a bearer of the wisdom of an indigenous people. The second is a woman who lives 7 generations beyond our time and is a priestess and scientist of the possible future. Part of an order, part of a sisterhood that is trying to rebuild our world after crises beyond those we know already, for whom the arts of dreaming are absolutely pivotal. I feel anchored in my own understanding of these things by my imaginal, not imaginary, but imaginal. Imaginal is about the true imagination. My imaginal connection with women of wisdom and power. So I bought some land with a derelict farmhouse in upstate New York because of a white oak tree behind the farmhouse, the kind of tree my ancestors knew and some of your ancestors knew, and because of a red-tailed hawk. Sitting under the tree wondering if I should really buy this property a long way from the places where I've been operating, I felt there should be a sign beyond the sense of certainty I had about this land and the powers of that land. And a red-tailed hawk, a female to judge by her size, comes circling overhead lower and lower, squalling at me in a language I know I should be able to understand, but I don't exactly speak hawk at the time. And drops a wing feather between my knees. It's not the only reason I bought the farm, but it was one of the reasons. Living on that farm, I started dreaming as I had done as a child. I started dreaming of people from different times and dimensions. The dreams were impossible to ignore. One night I found myself flying outside my body. How many of you have been flying in your dreams? Wave your other wing if you've enjoyed the situation. Okay, so I'm flying. It's very physical, right? I'm catching a thermal. I'm seeing things from odd angles. I'm wide awake, I'm out of the body, and I'm dreaming. Let's get it clear. Dreaming is not fundamentally about sleep. It is, as Sue said, fundamentally about waking up. So I'm wide awake and I'm dreaming, and I'm having a great old time flying around in the night, and then I feel a tug of an intention, and I'm drawn north, 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 over Lake George and Lake Champlain in New York State, but there are no highways, no developments, no resorts. It's primal landscape beneath me. I'm drawn to a cabin in the wood where a beautiful ancient woman sits stroking a wampum belt with a wolf, a she-wolf, and 2 humans, but not exactly Romulus and Remus, a different design. Speaking to me in a musical cadenced language I know I would like to understand, but I don't. It's not a New Age dream where you know everything at once. It's a dream that tells you you're going to have to expand your vocabulary, you're going to have to expand your knowledge to get it. And I come out of that vision excited, mystified, curious. And this became, to cut to the chase, an ongoing communication. I learned a funny word, ondinok, which means the secret wish of the soul, especially revealed in dreams. I learned that the task of decent people in a decent community is to gather round the dream and listen to their dreams tenderly, with an eye to helping the dreamer find out what the soul wants, as revealed in dreams, and then to act on what the soul wants, act on the wishes of the soul. Because if we don't move with the soul, if we don't do what the soul wants as opposed to the ego, the magic goes out of life. So we're talking about a tradition here which is ancient and venerable, and we need to get it back. We need to get it back. We would save a great deal of money, time, pain, and stress if we introduce the practice of dream diagnosis, of looking at dreams as diagnostic and showing us what the body needs to stay well, if we did this all the time. In every community center, in every health clinic, everywhere. It needs to be part of our medical system, mainstream, everywhere. So a woman comes to me, a famous artist, I won't name her obviously, and she's terrified because she's been dreaming again and again about a spider. She doesn't like spiders and she's had a brush with cancer. She identifies the spider with cancer. In your dreams or mine, the spider might have nothing to do with cancer, but A, she doesn't like spiders, and number 2, she associates in her mind the spider with that disease. And she's terrified because she's had this series of dreams, and each time the spider is bigger and it's in her way and she can't get rid of it, And now it's taken over her studio, getting bigger and bigger, and she can't kill it. She tries to kill it. The spider's in her studio. In her dream, she flees from her studio, and after that dream, she has not been able to bring herself to go back into her art studio and waking life and do her creative thing. So this woman is terrified. And I say to her, what a great dream. I say, if I were you, I'd like to go back inside it and face the spider and see what I need to do. She's not enthusiastic about this. I say, wait a minute. I'm going to hold your hand. We're going to sit on this settee outside your studio. I'm at a house in New Mexico. I'll be your big brother. I'm not going to solve this for you. I'm just going to come with you and back you up when you do what you need to do. I want you to go back into your studio. The studio is through the closed door. In your second body, in your dream body, and face the spider and see what you need to do. So you can imagine this cinematically. We are sitting on the sofa, holding hands, and she is shaking and she is crying. She's not happy about this at all. And I'm being her fierce friend. I'm holding her hand. I'm saying, you need to do this, do it, keep on. So now we are both stepping out of our physical bodies, in our second bodies, in our dream bodies, through the closed door into the studio. You can picture this cinematically, right? We are both absolutely aware of it. We have stepped out of our physical bodies, and we are in our energy bodies, our dream bodies, inside the studio. Everything is very physical seeming, but we are aware that our physical bodies are sitting on the setting. Out-of-body experience is much easier than some people seem to think. And it's not necessary to give up connection to your physical body when you do them. These are routine things that we teach in my School of Active Breathing. So, we are there together, holding hands inside her studio. And there's the spider. And the spider's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until it's the size of a tank, anatomically correct, waving things at her, and she's not cheerful. But she holds her ground. She stands there. She stands there, she stands there, she does not run. I am doing nothing except holding her hand and wishing her to see this through to some kind of resolution. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know, if it's my dream, we have to get resolution. We can't keep running away from this. So she's facing the spider, and the spider is enormous, and now, at a certain point, the spider shapeshifts and becomes a radiant, beautiful young woman who says to the dreamer, I give you my power to change the energy web of your body so you don't need to get cancer anymore. And I give you the power to reweave the creative web of your life so you will enter the most productive, creative phase of your career. Both promises are subsequently fulfilled. When she goes into the doctors for the biopsy that had been scheduled, she is cancer-free. And in the 10 years that followed, she has entered the most creative, extraordinary period of her life.